also get to go to Latin America. And there's some amazing things happening in Latin America that I want to tell you about. Because sometimes we think in this country, oh, the church is dead or dying, and where's the faith? And there seems to be chaos and disagreement. And it seems like it's going to get worse. Okay? Es una situación terrible. La iglesia es un chaos. And so what we're trying to do as a foundation, again, is to help the church accomplish its mission. So when I go, one of the joys that I have is that I get to walk in a neighborhood with the pastor. People would say, so you're going to go to Rio, going to the beach? No. What? Are you going to go to El Redentor, that gigantic Jesus? No, actually, I've never been there. Sorry. Lo siento. But what I do say is, I get to go to all these favelas, and I see some of the world's most beautiful people, and incredible churches doing remarkable things in really chaotic neighborhoods. And that's what gives me great joy. So on occasion, people tell me I tend to stand out. I like to think I blend in, right? So in Guatemala, most people are actually about this tall if they're from the mountains, right? And then if they're got some European, maybe they come up to almost 5'9", all, you know, and those are giants. But what happens is remarkable things. Just so you know, briefly, when children see me, there's two responses. One is they run away, like, oh, monster, ah, and they run away. Or they think I'm the world's biggest jungle gym, and they climb me, and they start ripping off my hair because they've never seen, like, look at this blonde, white hair. This is a freak, right? And they play on me as if I'm there for them to play on me. And the gift I have is I let them play. Okay? And that breaks down walls. I learned that breaks down walls. Because the parents say, if this giant man from the United States, this gringo, is actually allowing our kids to play with him, maybe he's okay. Right? And then I walk the neighborhood with the pastor, and I get to meet people. So in Sao Paulo, I met this man named Josue. Josue was one of the leading drug dealers in all of Sao Paulo. And people feared him. When he came out on the street, people would literally run away. No one would make eye contact because he was so dangerous. When I met him, it was at a group of pastors just sharing their own stories, and he said to me in front of everyone, I did some bad things. And one guy is, oh, come on, you killed people. And that was a kid that he grew up with who's now an adult. Like, you killed people, come on, say it. He's like, yeah, I killed some people. And he started talking about why he would do this. And actually, Brother Scott and I have talked about this. A lot of times, people kill others is because of fear. You're threatening me and I have to respond. And if I don't respond, then people will actually say, oh, this guy's weak. And now I'm fearful because everyone else is going to take advantage of you. So I have to pull out a gun and shoot the guy. That's what he said. And I shot a lot of people. And I said, but you're a pastor now? Yes. Well, how did that happen? And he said, well, there's this special group. They're in Brazil, they're called Bope, B-O-P-E. It's like a combination of Navy SEALs and SWAT. And they have military weapons and military uniforms. And when they come into the favela, they don't knock on the door, they kick the door in. And if you move too fast, they shoot you to pieces. Right? So that's what they're there for. Like, this is the final answer to you is, we're going to get you. And so they're chasing this guy through the favela. Now, we know it's the favela, so he's like running everywhere. And after a while, he starts jumping on the roofs. And so all these guys are closing in on him, shooting at him, and he's jumping on these metal, aluminum, like flimsy roofs. And suddenly he falls through it, boom! And he lands on the ground. And inside that, it's like a little area where there's like doors that open, like different houses, if you will. And so one door opens and they see him, they see who he is, and they see the expression on his face, and they grab him and they pull him into the house, and they close the door, and they're like, and put their hand over his mouth, like, and they take his clothes off. They strip him down and they put him in the shower because he smelled bad. So there's 4 men, they're all wearing dark suits, the pastor and 3 elders. And these 4 men are scrubbing him down, and one of them looks like, okay, and he takes off his clothes after they dry him off, and they put his clothes on him. But before they put the shirt on, they cut his hair. So he had wild, crazy hair. They cut him off. They shave him. Meanwhile, Bakke, the special elite force, they're called, is looking all over. And they go door to door. And as they're talking and shouting, there's 3 doors. They kick open the 3 doors. And then they're about to kick in the 4th one. And they say, no. That's the house of a pastor. He could not possibly be in there. And so they leave that door alone and they go on. So what happens is the guys, in silence, give him a shower, shave him, change his hair, put a suit on him, and then they stuff a huge Bible under his arm, and they say, walk with us. And they walk right past all the Bakke. They're looking to kill him. Because he looks now like a deacon or a pastor. All right? And so these pastors and deacons put their life at risk, and they walked him out of there. And he said, you know who I am, and you're saving my life. And that stopped him. That stopped him. That unconditional love that saved his life. And yet, he said, how can I keep going in fear when you're living with such courage and you have no gun? And so now, when he steps out on the street, people come running to him. Children come running to play on him. And mothers come and talk to him. He got married, and his wife and he have a after-school program, and it's about the size of your dining room. So look around the dining room for a second. Imagine about 100 kids in that space. It's insane, right? And she, by the way, used to live there, and she used to use that space to deal drugs. So he was a narco trafficker, and she was a drug dealer. There is a difference, right? He was delivering to her, and she was selling it. And so now it's a place that's been redeemed. Why? Because 4 men grabbed him and threw him into a shower. How's that for God work? Like, there's no seminary that teaches grab the narco trafficker and throw him in a shower and shave him. Like, right? And give him your clothes. Right? So I get to learn from people like that. By the way, his brother was shot dead. Other members of his family were shot. His house was firebombed. But the Bakke has actually said, we're not gonna press charges because your life is so different now. And the entire neighborhood agrees he's a new person, and so all charges have been dropped. Okay? And he knows that he lives by grace. And I get to see stories like that. I mean, I actually get paid to experience